Okay, I made a decision this morning to make a change with our defensive coordinator position. Really appreciate Ted. I appreciate his professionalism. Wish him nothing but the best. Addison Williams will be our defensive play caller moving forward. I know our players have a lot of trust in him, so looking forward to watching him. Offensively, Tim Harris is going to take over play calling duties the rest of the season. Really excited for Tim. He's a rising star. He's been waiting on this moment. Going to allow me to take care of more of the head coaching duties, which there is more demands on the head coach this day and time than ever before. It'll help me be on top of all three phases. We got recruiting, the portal, everything that goes with that. Our players have a lot of confidence in Tim. Really excited about him. As far as the quarterback goes, I'm not ready to say who's going to start. We'll manage that throughout practice, and I'll let you know as it gets a little closer to game time about exactly what that looks like. Both these decisions are my decisions. What's best for our team, and as a leader, as a head coach, that's what you got to be thinking, and that's what I did. And looking forward to going through this process the last 4 games with that. Questions?
Coach, on the decision to hand over play calling to Coach Harris, I guess, what specifically, or just the last few weeks, has it just kind of been weighing on your mind that was something that you needed to do with the offense kind of sputtering out there?
Yeah, I think so. Like I said, as a leader, you got to do what's best for your team. And that's what's best for our team. And Tim has been a guy that has been waiting. He is ready for this moment. Like I said, the big thing is our players have a lot of confidence in him. He's a really, really smart guy. I think he'll give our offense a spark. Like I said, for me, just to be able to manage all 3 phases, to do a better job in that area, that'll be a big help too.
Gus, when did the decision to let go of Ted come to you, and also was this driven by the administration make you make these moves, or was it something you
like
wanted
I said, I made all these decisions on my own. What's best for the team? There's never great timing, but it was this morning. I just felt like that was the best thing for our team right now. And as a leader, you've got to do what you think's best for your team.
Coach, how do you expect this to kind of galvanize the team moving forward heading into the space game?
I think our team, there'll be some new excitement. I think our guys will respond. Real excited about the space game. Obviously, this has been a big one for a long time. I know our guys are looking forward to it. And so looking forward to get on the practice field with our players and our coaches.
When you look back at the film of the BYU game, what made now the right time to make a change at the defensive coordinator spot?
Well, I think it's just like what's best for our team right now. As far as being more efficient, we got some good players on defense, and I think this will help.
And considering that you obviously have known Ted for quite some time, what was the conversation like, and how did it go?
There's nothing ever easy, about conversations like that. Like I said, being a head coach and doing what's best for your team, that's what I had to do, and that's how everything happened.
Coach, Ted Roof came in to become defensive coordinator. Addison Williams went down to co-defensive coordinator.
Say it again.
Ted Roof came in to be defensive coordinator. Addison Williams became co-defensive coordinator. Yeah. What's the confidence in Addison Williams that he can take back this position, and what do you see in him?
Yeah, I think he's in a different place than he was last year. We have a more talented defense, first of all, than we had last year. He's got great relationships with our players. He's a year further down the line. And our players have confidence in him.
What was the distribution of tasks between Ted Roof and Addison during the time where they were taking over the defensive responsibilities?
Ted was our defense coordinator.
Kind of building off the play calling, you said you wanted to take play calling this year. What was maybe not clicking on the play calling duties?
Yeah, like I've said before, I love calling plays. I'm a football coach first, and but as a leader and as a head coach, you got to do what's best for your team, and that's what's best for our team, and it's what's best for me as a head coach. Like I said, the head coaching responsibilities in college football in the last year have completely changed, and the demands of everything, and just the game management is one thing, but then the off the field stuff with the portal coming up, with recruiting your own players and everything that goes with that. The demands of head coach is more than ever before, and so it is the right time for me. And then, like I said, I've got a guy that I have a lot of confidence in. I think that obviously helps too, and I think he'll bring a little spice to our offense.
Is it difficult? You've mentioned it. Is it difficult to? Have you been talking with other coaches, or in the offseason talk with other coaches about finding that balance between the off-field and on-field?
I've got my group of head coaches, and all the guys that I talk to, it all feels the same way. I mean, we're all going through a transition, especially the guys that have done it for a while. It's a transition. It's probably a little easier on the young guys because that's really all they know. But it's a different day. It's a different day in college football. It's a different day for head coaches in college football. Yeah.
Coach, can you tell us what it's like game planning with the new defensive coordinator on such a short turnaround? Can we expect to see a similar game plan or a brand new scheme?
Well, we'll Addison, I'll be getting with him. We'll be talking about what that looks like further. I mean, this late in the season, I mean, obviously, to have massive changes is not realistic. It's not what's best. But I'll be getting with him, and we will be navigating through, through each side, offensively and defensively.
With Ted gone, who's going to be coaching linebackers moving forward?
We're still working through that.
I kind of on that note, do you have analysts or people on staff that have potential to do that? Is that where it would likely come from?
Yeah. That's where it'll likely come from. Like I said, I'm just not quite ready to say what that looks like. We're still working through it.
Yeah, so just kind of looking at the quarterback, I know you said it'll be a week-long process and practice. Just can you expand on Dylan Risk? It looked like at one point he might have been the fourth-string guy, and he gets out there, makes some plays, passing the ball.
Yeah.
Just talk about his performance, and does he have a fighting shot to be the starter on Saturday?
Yeah. Dylan's in the mix. There's no doubt about that. I mean, you saw he gave the offense some life. He did progressions. He battled really hard. He made plays. He created things when things broke down. And so, he'll be in the mix. Like I said, that's probably as deep as I can tell you right now. And we get to Thursday, I'll have some more information for you.
And what about E.J. Colson? At some point, it looked like he was starting and he was the backup. And then the other day, you said you're trying to preserve his red shirt.
Yeah, we're still navigating through that, red shirt and everything that goes with that. We're in a new age of college football.
Gus, along the lines when it comes to the roster, is there opportunities for more younger players to step up? Will you try to maybe you see some new faces out there? I guess maybe.
And that's a possibility too. I think even last week you saw more new faces than at any time. We got some young guys that are progressing. They're starting to grow up. It's starting to click, and so I think you could see some of that for sure.
Coach, you mentioned the reasoning for the decision that you made. Kind of on the timing, what made this week the right week to do that, and was bowl eligibility part of that?
You go with your senses and what you feel like is best for your team, and we just got to do better in some areas, and that had to do with the timing.
Where do things stand as far as your secondary is concerned with Tennyson, Marshall, some of those guys?
Yeah, we're hoping to get those guys back. We didn't practice last night, so tomorrow hopefully we'll get those guys back out there. Obviously, those are key guys. Mac being one of those guys too. That didn't play last week. We're hopeful to get him back. I'm just not ready to. We don't know right now, but we're hopeful.
In particular with the Arizona passing game and
right.
What do you see on film with them?
Yeah, their quarterback's phenomenal. The receiver's one of the best in the entire country. So definitely a secondary, being healthy, having our main guys out there will be a big deal.
Coach, between the different plays at quarterback and then now the firing of Ted Roof, how do you maintain the structure of this team? Where do you go from here?
Well, I mean, our team is resilient. Our team is going to respond. The thing about Addison and Tim is they're big relationship guys, and our players have a lot of confidence in them. And so I would go to say that our players will be excited to hit the practice field tomorrow.
Would you say that the goals of the season have transferred to making a bowl game?
Well, yeah, I mean, our goal is to make a bowl game. There's no doubt, and, but we're going to take it one game at a time. I mean, this is a big game. It's a space game. There's a lot of things that go with it. We're playing a very solid Arizona team, and we need to get it done on the practice field. So we're looking forward to practicing tomorrow.
I know you said you made the decision this morning, but has team leadership kind of taken the decision? What's been kind of the charge to them to rally the guys this week?
Yeah, I mean, our guys, they want to be the best version of themselves. They're very competitive. We got really good leadership. I expect our guys to respond in a very positive way.
Gus, I'm sorry. Kobe Hudson, what was the status of Kobe Hudson? Have you heard anything more on that?
Yeah, we're hopeful with Colby also too. I know he's a tough guy. I know he's going to do everything he can to play. He'll be another one of those guys that we just need to see how this week goes and see if he can practice and how much he can practice. So not ready to make a call, but I know he'll do everything he can to try to be on the field.
Coach, with the space game this week, how important is a win to show fans and recruits that this is a capable football program?
Yeah. I mean, we need to play good football. We're excited about the space game. We understand that's very important for our program and our fans.
Can you comment on Arizona and just what you see from those guys?
Yeah. Well, first of all, the quarterback and the receiver, they jump off the film like you'd expect. That's really where it starts. Defensively, they started out the season in a 4-down front. They were really good early on defense. They've had some injuries. They did a little bit more odd the last few weeks and kind of mixed and matched. They had some new players playing new positions and all that. So, it's kind of one of those things that who's going to be back and all that. But when they have all their guys, they're impressive on defense.
Thanks, everybody. All right, Matthew, it's an interesting way to start a game week, losing your defensive coordinator. Just as a player, what are the emotions when you hear Gus make that decision, and how do you guys move forward knowing that, I guess there's, Addison is now in charge of you guys?
Yeah, it definitely sucks getting a different defensive coordinator, but, we definitely have a lot of confidence in Coach Addy, and we know what his capabilities are, and we just got to keep our head down and keep the main thing.
Yeah, how do you along those lines? How do you keep that focus? I mean, does it help out the fact that you guys are familiar with Addison from last year, and does that help maybe keep things a little bit easier as a transition?
Oh yeah, most definitely. But I mean, all in all, it's like football. A bunch of coaches are in and out, so you just know that's the main thing, and you got to keep your head down and block out all the outside noise.
Matt, last game, you guys were on the field somewhere around 37 and a half minutes. From the defensive tackle's perspective, what kind of an impact does that have on you in particular in that part of the field?
Oh, wait, could you repeat that?
You were on the field 37 and a half minutes against BYU last week. What kind of impact does that have you guys at the defensive tackle spot?
Yeah, it definitely puts a wear and tear on us, but honestly, we just have to get off the field in the 3rd and 4th down. We have to stop. We have to minimize all those long drives.
Gus was saying that Addison's in a different place. Has he spoken to any of you guys this morning, or what do you think about him taking that role over and getting another shot at it?
Yeah, he sounds very determined, and I'm very excited to see what he has for the rest of this year.
One of the big struggles you guys have had these past couple games is getting off the field on 3rd down. What changes do you need to be made?
Honestly, we just gotta the D-line just have to do a better job of keeping our rush lanes and being able to contain the quarterback.
I know a lot of us made a big deal of Ted being a lot more aggressive defensively, bringing more pressure. You guys have been getting a few more sacks and a lot more pressure the last few weeks. Did it feel like things were beginning to click, and then how do you now carry that over with a new defensive coordinator?
Oh yeah, like I said, just keep our head down, keep the main thing, and just keep on pushing every day in and out.
What stood out to you about Arizona's offense so far, looking at them on film?
Oh yeah, they got some pretty good skill players. Well, they had a good team all around, but definitely the quarterback and receiver, they make them guys go.
So with Coach Addison taking over, what do you see the defense changing into?
Honestly, just being able to execute and keeping the quarterback, contain the quarterback, honestly, and just being able to get back in the backfield and make plays.
Just what's kind of the player reaction when, this is a big drastic move midway through the season? Like, what do you guys talk about with each other? I mean, that's a pretty shocking thing to have a coach be fired mid-season.
Could you repeat that one more time?
Yeah, just kind of what do you guys talk about? I mean, is that just kind of a shocking thing, or just what are the instant reactions when you hear a change like that's being made mid-season?
We're definitely surprised. Yeah, like how you said, mid-season, so it's like a shocker. But I don't know. We know who Coach Addison is, and he says he's very determined. We're gonna follow right behind him.
Matthew, Dalen's had a pretty strong couple of weeks, a couple of games. What have you seen out of his growth and performance over the last couple of weeks, and how has that helped you guys maybe as a defensive line?
Oh yeah, he definitely improved. He's a great player all in all, honestly, and him rising up to the occasion honestly makes other people play better too.
Space game, you've played in a few of these before. Just kind of what are your thoughts on that tradition and the uniforms and all that stuff?
Oh yeah, I'm excited, really excited. I love the jersey and everything, just the atmosphere and the environment. It's all great. I love it.
Have you had a favorite one since you've been here? A favorite helmet or uniform?
I think these are my favorite, to be honest. It's just a whole different design. I love it. I like it.
Your team's record in space games kind of speaks for itself. It's kind of become a little bit of a legend around here. Is there a psychological advantage, or do you guys get more amped up for that game in particular?
Most definitely, but we gotta take every game as important, just as important. Every game is just important, and honestly, just keep our head down and keep the main thing, like I said.
Obviously, Coach Addison Williams isn't a new hire. He's been around the team for a while now, being co-defensive coordinator. What are some of the things that he helped you get comfortable with during the season that you'll hope to take to the next level as he becomes the defensive coordinator?
Just being able to, like I said, just execute our plays every day out, and just being able to contain the quarterback.
Anything else for Matthew? All right, perfect. Questions for Caden?
All right, Caden, I know you're going to run whatever play is called, so I'm not sure how different it is for you as an offensive lineman. But, big decision today from Gus. He said he's handing over play calling to Tim Harris Jr. Just as a player, what's your reaction to a move like that coming midseason?
Like you said, I'm going to run what's called. We're more of a player-led team, so we lean on each other's backs instead of the coach's backs, really. But, that's the most important thing right now is just leaning on each other.
Caden, what's been the message then from the leaders among the players about this going on? I mean, what's been the message to them and you guys about what needs to happen over the next 4 games?
Yeah, like I just said, lean on each other. We're a player-led team, so, just the main thing is just, knowing we have each other's backs, and whatever happens, we always got each other.
Coach said at this point you're still working through the decision of who's starting at quarterback. What have you seen from Dylan lately or in his time here with you that kind of made him jump into jockey for the opportunity here potentially this weekend?
Dylan's kind of the nonchalant guy, so, I think that's what helped him out a lot in the game is that he had no expectations and he just balled out. And I'm really proud of him. He's been, battling for that job for a while now, so I'm really proud that he got in there and did what he did on Saturday.
You guys have had 4 quarterbacks play in the month of October. So how are you adjusting as a center to get used to the styles of all 4 of those guys and what they want to run and what they want to do?
Really the only style that I need to adjust to is the height difference. So just getting the reps in practice about snapping to different heights, and they all have different, I guess, frequencies of cadences. So just getting adjusted to that. But I'm a block for whoever's behind me, and the whole offensive line is going to do the same thing. So we're not really worried about what QB's back there.
You mentioned this being a player-led team. Who are some of those leaders and who have stepped up during this time of different changes and stuff going on?
Yeah, our captains, Marcellus, Ethan, KJ. They've all been very vocal and just trying to hold the team together. Just trying to remind each other that we have each other.
I know the game on Saturday was a bit of a struggle offensively, but what does it mean to have R.J. Harvey hit 1,000 yards, and kind of what does it mean for the offensive line to have a runner hit that mark this early in the season?
It's awesome. It just shows that, we're very physical, and we want to get him the ball. It's awesome just to see him have that success and just to be blocking for him. So.
How important is Kobe Hudson to this offense, and how do you guys adjust if he goes down or if he misses some time?
Yeah, Kobe's very important. He opens up some of the run game, and when RJ's getting a lot of the touches, RJ opens up a lot of the pass game for Kobe. So it would be a loss, but we're hopeful to get him back for this week.
What have you seen so far from Arizona as far as their defensive fronts?
Today we watched KYP, which is personnel. So we're just learning what their moves are, what they do, what they like to do on defense. So they have a lot of twitch to them. They're lighter guys for the most part, so they're really twitchy. They like a lot of speed rushes. So we're going to dive into more of what they're trying to do as a whole defense later in the week. But as of for now, they're very twitchy guys.
Another unsung hero in blocking and things like that, tight end Randy Pittman. How would you evaluate what he does for the run game and blocking?
Oh, it's awesome. As an offensive lineman, we're very biased towards blocking and, using tight ends for blocking, but he's been doing a great job.
How did the hats on hats gameplay pan out against BYU for you guys?
Hats on hats have played out all season. We've played a lot of teams that do a lot of stuff. BYU did the most stuff that out of who we've played so far. So just getting hats on hats opened up lanes for RJ.
And how do you plan to incorporate that in the space game?
Just communicate well, make sure all the IDs are on point, and just make sure everybody's on the same page.
Caden, it seemed like you know Dylan Risk well. You talked about how he's been kind of competing and fighting for this job for a long time. Just kind of what's been your perceptions of him these last couple of years since he's been here? I know he was a winning quarterback at the high school level and just kind of fighting through a depth chart. Just kind of, can you share more about what you've seen from Dylan in the last couple of years?
Yeah, well, I live with Dylan, so,
yeah.
That kind of helps. So, like I said, he's just nonchalant. He's always going to be ready. And I think that was evident in the game on Saturday. But, we trust him. We trust everybody behind us. It's just we want to win. So
what's he like at home? Is he like taking everything on with him, like watching film on the TV? Like, what is he like? Just you see him putting in the work, I guess?
Dylan puts all the work in here. He likes to get away from everything at home. But, that boy is so invested in school. It's crazy. Like, he's up in his room studying all the time. I don't know what he's doing. He's probably between chemistry and football, probably balancing out the two, I hope. But, he's a good dude.
You've been around for a few of the space games, so what's kind of like what do you like most about this week, and how would you kind of evaluate? Is it a matter of like some sort of psychological edge or extra juicy you guys get?
Yeah, well, we always like to say the only game that matters is the one at hand. We play faceless opponents, so it doesn't matter who we're playing. The space game is definitely a cool deal. That's UCF's signature thing. So just to be a part of it is really cool. But like I said, the main goal is just to win. It's not about what game it is. We just want to win the game.
How, I guess, troubling or just, in the middle of the season, you went down with an injury. You had to miss, a game and a half or whatever it was. That had to have been a taxing thing for you because you want to be out there with your guys and you can't do it. Was that a difficult time period for you?
Yeah, it was difficult. The only thing I could do is just be the best version of myself I could be, and that version wasn't on the field. So I was on the sideline trying to talk to guys about looks, what they're trying to do. I had the iPad ready to go for Coach Hand every time. So, just doing what I can to help the team out, even if I couldn't be on the field.
And this season, this isn't what you guys anticipated going into it. I know you had high hopes of competing for the Big 12. Just how trying has that been, and what have you seen from your teammates? I know Coach Gus talks about leadership in the locker room and all that stuff. What's this season been like, I guess?
Like you said, nothing like we expected. We all just want to win. But I guess the main thing is that we've really learned to fall on each other, and some of the bonds we built throughout camp and through the first half of the season really come to show in times like this, because nothing's going as we want it to go, but it just really shows the kind of bonds we have between each other.
Good stuff. Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.